Hello, Scribble Champions, Desiree here, and today I want to tell you about the time I almost quit writing. Okay, maybe it wasn't that I almost quit writing, but I almost backed out of a really important book project, and I want to tell you about it. So, 2022, I came across a Facebook post from my friend Krista, and she's like, hey, I'm putting together this anthology of testimonies about times when we've been really broken and God has come in and brought healing and restoration. Who wants in on this project? And at the time, I had been thinking in the back of my head, hey, I should really write a book about some of my own brokenness that I've experienced outside of just some of the mental health things, and really shed some light on this and shed some light on God's healing and restoration. And then I see Chris's post and I was like, it's a sign. I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to be part of this project. This is great. Send her a message, send her an idea of what I wanted to write about, and she's like, yep, that sounds good. That sounds great. This is the cost. This is the timeline. How do you feel about it? I was like, yeah, this is great. Let's sign up. So I signed on to work with her, and I started writing immediately. Words just started flowing out of me, and I was really excited and gung-ho. I was like, yes, this is going to be good. This is going to be great. This is going to impact people. This is going to help people. And God was like, and I was like, what, why are you clearing your throat? There was this idea, and then there was this person doing the project. I felt like the things were coming into place. Why are you clearing your throat? What did I do? And he was like, hey, yes, I want you to do this, but I actually want you to write about this instead. And I was like, oh, okay. So I messaged Krista. I was like, so I feel actually I'm supposed to write about this instead. Is that okay? She's like, yeah, still in line with the vision, and I'm all for it if you're for it. I was like, okay, sweet. So I started rewriting, and as I was writing and working on my story, I had all the courage in the world to write, but I knew that I needed to write this from a place of honor, because what God was telling me to write was what it felt like watching my parents go through multiple divorces. I've seen my parents go through 4 divorces total, and emotionally that did a number on me. And my parents, they're good people. I love them very much, and I know they love me. I know they care about me, all of that. But it was still hard to see that happen and to go through that during my childhood and into early adulthood. So I started writing about that experience and writing how I felt. And as I wrote, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't portraying my parents as the bad guy. Like, yes, there was this pain that I was experiencing, but I still wanted it to be communicated like, hey, I still love my parents. I still care about them. And that was an interesting thing to try to balance. As I continued to write, I kept that as the focal point for myself. And I got through my rough draft. I submitted it to the group of other writers. There were 21 of us total. And a few of them commented like, wow, you're really honoring in how you are sharing this story. As a parent, like, yeah, this is a little hard to hear, but at the same time, you present it in such a way that I really believe this is going to help people. And I was really encouraged. I was like, yes, that's what I want. I want to give a voice to other people who've been in my situation, but I also want to bring honor and for it to be a point of healing and of hope. Yes, okay, I'm on the right track. This is awesome. But one of the situations that I talk about within the chapter was really messy. And when I say it was really messy, I mean, like, when this divorce happened, there was fallout with other members of my family and myself because of how I initially reacted to it. Other people in my family were not very, like, receptive towards me after that. And there are a lot of ins and outs that I don't want to go too much into detail in this video, but because there was some healing and some mended relationships that needed to happen there that kind of hadn't fully happened, I started getting really nervous about writing this story and about being a part of this book, so much so that I started panicking and anxiety started creeping in, and all these thoughts and all these doubts, and oh, they're not going to like it, they're going to, like, say stuff about you, they're gonna trash you on the internet or blah 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 blah, like all these things are going to happen, and the whole pot's going to get stirred up again, and all the worms will be everywhere, and it'll all be your fault because you decided to write this, and this is not going to help people, and people are going to think you're whining, and no one is going to care. And all these other thoughts just kept crashing in on me. And it got to a point where I almost messaged Krista to say, hey, I need to withdraw from this project. I realize I'm not going to get my money back, but I can't be a part of this. And I just started praying. I was like, Lord, what do I do? Because I'm feeling stuck here. And his response to me was a song that I might release into the public one day. Haven't decided yet. But the song was called Soar. And the basis of the song was that it was time for me to speak and to soar and to spread my wings and to share my story, and reminding myself that like I was coming from a place of honor with the people that are talked about within this chapter, and names were changed. And to remember that it wasn't about them. It wasn't about the people who might feel some kind of way based on the story that I shared. It was about the people that my story was going to impact. It was about the people who were going to read and realize like, hey, I have been in a horrible place, and this person sees me, this person knows me. Okay, I'm going to be okay. Like, this is going to be my declaration coming out of the pit. I can do this. So I started singing this song over myself, and I started reminding myself that it wasn't about the other people who might be naysayers. It was about my king and the people that he wanted me to reach. So I pushed on, and release date came in May of 2023. And it was amazing seeing the number of people who were like, hey, I got my book. Yeah, I got my book. I'm reading it. I'm really excited to dive into the stories. And the people who are sending me messages or like leaving Amazon reviews who are saying, hey, chapter 10, from child of pain to child of love, that's Desiree's chapter, and it really spoke to me. It really resonated with me. Like, I did a wisdom challenge in January of this year, and someone commented like, hey, I know we don't know each other, but I read your book and I read your story, and I was really moved, and I just want you to know that like I'm in agreement with you for the things that you are wanting to see restored in your life. I'm in agreement with you for the things that you are proclaiming over your life. And I was like, oh, thank you. Thank you, kind stranger. You are wonderful. And the number of people who were like, yeah, you know what? I've been dealing with this, and you made this powerful declaration that the curses are cursed. And I had never put my situation into those words before. And I thank you, because I'm taking hold of that. And those people, had I not been obedient, had I let all the doubts and fears keep me down, would not have been impacted by those words. I share this to say to you, if you are struggling with doubt right now that your book is going to have any type of impact on people, if you are struggling with, oh, what will the naysayers think? What will so-and-so think if I'm talking about this story, this situation? It's not about so-and-so. It is about the King and the people that he has called you to reach. So I implore you to still write your story. And I also implore you to make sure you do so from a place of honor. Not a place of revenge, not a place of bad-mouthing, but of honor and integrity and victory.